Hey everyone, welcome to Goodman's Woodworking. In this video we're going to be making DIY lanterns for LED candles. Okay, so this is going to be a scrap wood project. So first thing I'm going to need to do is cut these boards into the dimensions I need and do some glue up. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do with my scrap wood is I'm going to cut off these edges so I have a nice square piece. Okay, now that I've got my ends cut off of these boards, I'm going to run them through the joiner and then the planer to make sure they're nice and flat and all the same thickness. Okay, before I run these through the joiner, I've taken each one of my boards and made a mark down both sides. And I'm going to look down the board and see if it's cupped on either side. And whichever side's cupped, that's the side I'm going to run on the joiner. And then the side that's bowed, I'm going to run that through the planer. And then I'll have it'll be nice and flat on both sides. Okay, now that I've got my ends cut off and one side jointed on the joiner, it's nice and flat. I also went ahead and jointed the edges so they're nice and square with this bottom. Now I'm going to run them through the planer to make this side flat and square with this side. Okay, I got this board all planed. It's completely flat on all sides and square. All my lines are gone on both sides, but I still have to continue planing this board with the other that still have lines on them That way every board, it will be the same thickness. Just because those lines are going don't mean you stop on that board. I gotta empty out my shop bag. Yeah, I'd say that's a little full. Well, that sucks in a good way. We're back in business. Okay, once you get your boards nice flat and the same thickness, now it's time to glue these up. I want my bases for these lanterns to be 7 inches by 7 inches. And then on top of that, it's going to be a 5 inch by 5 inch piece. And then I'm going to have legs on each corner, all 4 corners, 8 inches tall. And then on top of that is going to be another 5 inch by 5 inch piece, and then a 3 inch by 3 inch piece on top of that. So we're going to glue these up. You can use pocket holes if you want. If you don't feel like letting the glue dry overnight, or if you don't have clamps to clamp these together, you can use pocket holes. Just be very careful where you place your pocket holes, so when you cut these into the sections that you need, you're not cutting through a screw on your table saw or your circular saw. Never done a glue up before. The reason I'm putting pipes on the top and the bottom is because if you put all the pipes just on one side, the board will have a tendency to bow. You don't want that to bow. So if you put pipes, your clamps on the top and the bottom, they kind of cancel each other out. You want to get these pretty tight, but you don't have to really crank on them. Just good and snug. And we'll go back with our rag and clean up our excess, our glue squeeze out. Alright guys, this is the next day. I had these gluing up overnight. They came out great. I just got done sanding these down, getting all the glue out of the joint there. They're nice and smooth and flat. So now we're going to take these boards and cut them to our 7 by 7 inch diameter. This board here I'm going to use for our posts to hold up the top. It is already almost 5/8 inches thick. So I already got my table saw set up for 5/8 of an inch. So I'm just cut these into strips, and then we'll cut them down to the 8-inch lengths we need. So here we go. I've got 4 long 5/8 by 5/8 inch pieces, and this should be plenty to get me my 4 8-inch pillars for the top. Alright, so as you can see, my table saw burnt the wood, the blade burnt the wood a little bit. So I'm going to just run the sander over this and clean up these burn marks. Okay, I just got these sanded down. I got all the burn marks off of them. They're looking good. So now I'm going to take these over to the chop saw and cut them into 8-inch sections. Okay, so now we're ready to cut our pieces that we glued up last night into our 7 by 7 inch and 5 by 5 inch by 5 inch pieces for the base and the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the table saw up for my 7 inch by 7 inch pieces, and we'll get those knocked out, and then I'll go on to my 5 inch by 5 inch. This table saw, like I said, is very messy. Okay, so my camera got hot and cut off. So now we're gonna cut our 5" by 5". I just ripped this 5 inches wide. So now we're gonna cut 5 inches this way. Okay guys, so I'm going to take these 2 pieces and make my 3" by 3" parts. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is route the edges on all these pieces. You don't have to do this. This is just something I'm doing to make it look a little nicer. I'm using a 1/4 inch round over bit. And here we go. Now my phone's getting hot again, so while it's cooling down, I'm gonna hit these with some sandpaper and sand these little fuzzies off. Okay guys, so now we're ready to start gluing up all of our pieces. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Glue I'm using is Titebond 3. It's a good wood glue. It's waterproof. This is not a sponsored video. You pick this up at Lowe's. So we'll just go ahead and get to gluing these up. Okay, so the glue's tacky. These are stuck on pretty good. It didn't take very long at all, just a few minutes. Not going nowhere. Now we gotta put our little posts in the corners here. I'm gonna be using a brad nailer for this part. Just kind of help everything stick together, and so we're not waiting for glue to dry. Okay, so now we're getting ready to start putting our tops on. Okay guys, there you go. That's pretty much it. I'll get some wood putty and fill in these holes, and then do a final sanding on some of the squeeze out I had up here. And then we're going to be on to staining. And we're ready for stain now. Okay guys, so now we're ready to stain our project. This is a pre-stain. What this does is it helps the stain not be so blotchy when you apply it to your wood. So, and then the stain we're using is a dark walnut. Both of these products are Minwax, again not sponsored. Okay, now we let these set for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll wipe off any excess, and then we'll stain it. Okay guys, so here you go. This is our finished product. You could actually go in and add some like little fake flowers or leaves, make it like a little bouquet down here, and then your LED candle will sit in the middle. Be sure to let your customers know if you sell these, only use LED candles in here. You don't want to end up getting sued because somebody actually put a candle in there. Just let them know, you tell them these are made out of wood, wood burns. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing for future videos. And now it's time for me to get the shop cleaned up, and we'll catch you on the next one. Be blessed.